The White House came under pressure Tuesday after reports surfaced that classified documents from when Joe Biden was vice president were found by the president's personal attorneys in November. Nearly 10 documents were reportedly found at Washington's Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement, an office which Biden periodically used from mid-2017 until the start of his 2020 presidential campaign. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland had asked the U.S. Attorney in Chicago, a Trump appointee, to review the material, which was handed over to the National Archives the morning after they were discovered. The news comes as the Justice Department is investigating former President Donald Trump's handling of highly sensitive material after FBI agents seized thousands of documents, about 100 of which were marked as classified during a search of his Florida resort last August. Trump and his supporters were trying to draw parallels on Tuesday between the two cases, but Greg Sofer, a partner with Hush Blackwell, says there are notable differences.
Obviously, the more highly classified something is, the more serious potentially the damage is to the United States. From an evidentiary standpoint, it makes a big difference. It's easier to say 10 documents were accidentally interspersed with non-classified information than it is to say 15 boxes were. Generally speaking, for me in my practice and the clients that I represent, it often makes a big difference when something's voluntarily disclosed to the government versus the government having to go out there and dig it up themselves.
An important distinction, says Paul Charlton, former U.S. Attorney in Arizona.
The allegations as it relates to President Trump are much different. When the National Archives asked for President Trump and his team to return those documents, they returned some documents, but not all documents. A grand jury subpoena was issued, some but not all documents were returned. A search warrant was issued, and sure enough, a number of other remaining top secret documents were still in former President Trump's possession. That is a significant difference in the way in which these classified documents were reported both by President Trump and by President Biden.
In a Monday statement, the special counsel to the president said the classified material was identified by personal attorneys for Biden on November 2nd, days before the midterm elections. It remains unclear what information the documents contained or their level of classification. The Justice Department, the National Archives, and the think tank did not respond to a request for comment.
People know I take classified documents and classified information seriously. When my lawyers were clearing out my office at the University of Pennsylvania, they set up an office for me, secure office in the Capitol. The 4 years after being vice president, I was a professor at Penn. They found some documents in a box in a locked cabinet, or at least a closet. And as soon as they did, they realized there were several classified documents in that box. And they did what they should have done. They immediately called the archives, turned them over to the archives, and I was briefed about this discovery and surprised to learn that there were any government records that were taken there to that office. But I don't know what's in the documents. My lawyers have not suggested I ask what documents they were. I've turned over the boxes, they've turned over the boxes to the archives, and we're cooperating fully with the review, and which I hope will be finished soon, and there'll be more detail at that time.